Hey, what's up, everybody? Gene Fetty back at you with another episode of the All Access podcast from the Automotive Appearance Institute. It's been a while. In fact, I think it was July. Oh, where did it go? July 28th, when I took my summer break because dudettes, I was burned out, all the way burned out. Almost crash and burned out. But I digress. It's fall now, but we're back. We're here. Now, if you read the title of this episode, it's number 43, the final episode of the All Access podcast from the Automotive Appearance Institute. And sadly, that is correct. But we're not ending the show. We're just making some changes. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for being fans of the Automotive Appearance Institute, fans of the podcast, fans of things that I have done, that we've done here, and things we've brought to the world, I suppose. It means a lot that there are people out there who want to learn from us, appreciate learning from us, and some of the kind words that people have reached out and said to me as a whole are amazing. And even since this break have been amazing. There are several of you have come out or reached out and just checking in and making sure I'm okay. I assure you I'm 1,000% okay, but I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys care enough to personally reach out and see where I'm at and what's going on with me and everything like that. I did not go back and listen to the summer break episode, but let's talk about how we got here. And more importantly, don't leave because where we're going. We're not done by any stretch of the imagination. We're just making some changes. And it sounds awfully echoey in here. I don't know what changed in the studio, but I'm getting some serious echo. So sorry, guys. Need to revisit the audio. And I got to tell you, I'm rusty getting back here. I was trying to do 2 episodes tonight. And that's not going to happen. So you're going to get this episode here, and then you'll find out about the next episode that is not from the Automotive Appearance Institute. Little teaser. Anyways, I started, and you can even see over this shoulder, if you're watching the video, that this says established 2020. It should be more like born or thought of or created in my mind in 2020. I think it was 21 before we officially started the LLC and all that fun stuff. Anyways, the idea was to start a standalone training company and really try to move into solely training. Plenty of hiccups, plenty of difficulties, and it just is what it is. And sometimes the best laid plans are the ones that get changed the most. So we myself and Melissa, we were trying to transition into more training, which is my passion. And I believe one of the things I'm supposed to do in life is teach. It's something that I am completely passionate about. I absolutely love doing it. It's so energizing. And I feel really like driven to do it. And I will always tip my hat, if I were wearing a hat, to Chris White and the team over at Kiko. And for how they let me develop that, how I found it, how they helped me learn to be a better teacher, learn to teach, to get on stage, to talk. Man, what a blessing to find. I'm passionate about dent repair. I'm even more passionate about teaching and educating. Just so blessed to get to do what I do. So, right, and the idea was to sort of step away from dent repair and Dent Repair Now, the company, right? Got the sporting the shirt. It's weird that this camera's backwards. and really transition into training. With the way life happens, it was more difficult to do that than I thought it would be. Certainly not impossible, but more difficult. But more importantly, or a bigger part of it is inside of our organizations, right? Dent Repair Now, Automotive Appearance Institute. We have had some struggles with people, personal struggles that some people are going through. That's not my place to say. And we've also lost some team members, right? If you're a fan of this, and forever grateful for everything she did, losing Dylan was a big hit, right? She graduated this year. The plan was for her to come on full time, and for us to really double down and lean into the institute and the content and the classes. And she left. Right? Go back a few episodes. I think it was episode 30 or something like that. Farewell, Dylan, and get some of the scoop. And I hope she's doing well. I really, really do. We also lost a great technician at Dent Repair Now. Our friend, technician Jake, left to move back to Ohio to get his girls closer to grandparents and get some more support around family and be closer to family. And he started his own gig, and more power to him. The last time I talked to him, he's doing great. Go check him out. He's Dents R Us Ohio, right? And he's got the cool giraffe, like Toys R Us kind of theme. Anyways, Jake's doing great. But right, we lost Dylan for content. We lost Jake for repairs. We had another technician battling some health problems, right? That really pulled me back into the day to day. At one point, I felt like it was a 10-year reverse to what I was doing every day. Going back 10 years and being out on the road and being out on the route and doing wholesale cars, it's been good for me physically and mentally, but it was a challenge. And we sort of, like, going back to early April this year is when really everything started to come to a head. We had a hailstorm. We lost Dylan. We lost Jake. Both of them were, within a month of each other. Then into a busy summer, just trying to hold things together, teaching Mac how to do PDR. If you haven't seen it, third place at the, he took third place at the beginners competition at the PDR Expo. Pretty amazing, very amazing, actually. And as far as I understand, the first tech under a year of experience to ever place. So we were super proud of him. But like, I've really had my hands full. And even as we go out and, out at events like this, and I talk to people, they're like, man, I don't know how you do it. It's so busy. You're doing so much. And they're right. And again, back to that previous episode, that burnout is real. Trying to do too much for too long, and then losing some support systems inside of there. It's all but made it impossible. I can't do it. I won't do it. And life is just simply too short to be miserable. And we refuse to do it. So me and Melissa, I don't know, a couple of months ago, sort of sat down and had some talks, right? We came from nothing. We've built all of this together, and, like, what are we going to do? AAI, right? The Institute is my passion, and didn't want to give it up, don't want to give it up. But Dent Repair Now is taking all of my time and effort and energy, and we need to build and continue to build it and continue to make it shine. I don't know if you guys can hear my watch, but I think I've got my headphones dialed in enough that I can hear my watch. So I hope the ticking isn't driving you crazy, or maybe it'll make you want to go listen to Time on Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Jack, that's for you, buddy. Anyways, we really had like a, what are we going to do? And I reached to the point this summer, post uh, summer break podcast, where I really like came to the realization that I was incredibly not happy and getting more unhappy with my work life, right? And being entrepreneur, being a business owner, that leans and really washes over into a lot of your life. And in that call it come to Jesus talk with Melissa, where we sat down and really like, what are we going to do? Where do we go from here? What's the answer? And in my heart, I did not want to completely kill the Institute. However, we look on paper, right, at the time, effort, and energy to try to get it to where I know it can be. Man, it's a lot. And with losing people and being pulled back into the day to day of dent repair, like I can't do it. So I sort of sat on that talk for a while, and what are we going to do with dent repair now? How do we grow it? What do we do? It's not, if we go back 2 years, 2.5 years, man, it was on. I had dent repair now, just like completely on autopilot. Um, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Certainly, even through my Kiko years, uh, we had dent repair now running so smooth that I could pop out and go fly around the country, 2 or 3 days a week and do trainings, and everything work wise was fine. Fast forward to today, fast forward to 6-8 months ago, uh, that was gone. That was not here anymore, right? With losing some key people, moving into the bigger shop, not on autopilot anymore by any stretch of the imagination. And it really brought us to like, all right, I need to sit down and what's the answer? What can I do? How can I not be unfair to dent repair now, right? Our repair business, our all day, every day business, like it's what we have to do. It's our biggest driver is doing the repair business. That's a great business. So we've built it for the last 23 years. I've been building this. But what do I do with my passion? Like with what I really, really, really feel driven to do? What's my most rewarding stuff? Like, what do I do? How do we do it? I thought about taking the whole institute and trying to work a deal with one of the other training companies out there, right? Mike, Toledo with Dent Time or Dent Slayer or Real World PDR, and like, hey, who wants my whole library and everything, and just hand it away, right? Kill the podcast, kill it all, leave the content out there, and whoever I send it to, if I get time to make some more stuff, we'll send it to them. And I just didn't love that, right? What can I do? What can we do? How can we make this work? How can we continue to teach? And then, thinking and looking at what's out there, and I got to give, and he doesn't know this. I haven't, we don't talk much anymore, but I got to give some props to Mike Toledo. With he's got Dent Trainer and his Dent Time Mike Toledo brand, tons of followers on YouTube, really across the board. Like Mike is the OG content social media guy in the PDR space. And what I've noticed is he still has the Dent Trainer website. I think they still do sales and, shoot, you can probably still go find a couple of my original tutorials on Dent Trainer. But everything Mike is doing, all of his content is like centralized. So he's got his, I think it's, basically the Mike Toledo brand or the Dent Time brand. But whichever way it goes, what he's doing is he's focusing all of his content creation and generation and education content, everything is on what appears to be, at least from the outside, one channel, right? One YouTube channel, one TikTok, one Instagram, one Facebook. And, I really sat back and I'm like, because for the last, since April, right? And it's November 1st, right? So for 7 months, I have literally felt like a deer in headlights. And it was like, man, I need to make content for Dent Repair Now. But then if I do that, I'm not making content for AAI. And I'm like, man, I need to make content for AAI. But if I do that, then I'm ignoring Dent Repair Now. And I really, like that deer in the headlights, like in the middle of the road, I don't know which way to go. What am I going to do? I can't trying to focus on these two spaces is making me not focus on any space, right? I guess focus by definition would be to focus on one thing, dial in and move in on one thing. And that was a big realization for me, right? I guess I can't do it all. No matter what I think in my head, I can't do it all. I'm not 20 anymore. All that good stuff. So like that's how we get to here. That's how we get to tonight at 8:39 p.m. on November 1st on a Saturday night, back in the studio, recording the final episode of the All Access podcast from the Automotive Appearance Institute. So where do we go from here? What are we doing? Well, I've decided that I will not stop teaching. I will not stop when I restart making content. What I am going to do is not try to do it for two businesses, not try to do it for two companies. We're simply moving, right? The Automotive Appearance Institute at the end of this month is done. She gone. No more Automotive Appearance Institute. We are moving all of our content, all of our education and everything over into Dent Repair Now, right? Where we can continue to grow that brand by moving all of the educational content and content in general over to Dent Repair Now. We're bringing everything in and focusing it into one place. We're going to call it the Institute. A little tip of the hat to the Auto Appearance Institute, a little tip of the hat to AAI, the Institute at Dent Repair Now. So what should you expect? First, if you are a student inside of AAI anywhere, be it one of our free courses, one of our paid courses, inside of a subscription, whatever you have, you will have already access inside of Dent Repair Now. Now, I say that already. It's in the process. This week, it should all roll out. So if you go to log into AAI and you can't, go to Dent Repair Now. But we're moving all of the content there. So rest assured, if you're in a class, if you're signed up for something, you are moving, you're being transitioned in. In fact, our back end guy already has everything in there. We just haven't made it live yet because we didn't want you to get some confusing emails about what's going on. Hence this episode. You'll get emails granting you access into that. If you were in a paid course, you will be in the same paid course on the new website. If you or in one of our free offerings. I mean, we had MTE talks, some basic free webinars. Like, we had a ton of free stuff. There's still a bunch of free stuff that you could log into. If you were in one or any of those, you are now enrolled and have access to the entire library of our free collection. Right? It's like the archives, the free archives. You are in, and you can go watch anything inside of your account. It'll all be in your library. You'll be ready to go. If you're on the newsletter, if you're on any of our emails that I've been horrible at creating, we're moving you over to Dent Repair Now. You'll get your welcome emails there. You'll get the great content that we're going to put out, all headed your direction. The podcast, we're just rebranding. This is the final episode of the All Access podcast from the Automotive Appearance Institute. However, the All Access podcast from Dent Repair Now is on deck. It's coming up. The first episode of that will drop this week. So that will be before. Oh, if I can find a date here. That episode will be out before Friday. What's that episode going to be? It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a doozy. I'm going to be talking about the Advanced Skills Seminar at Anson that happened last month. Amazing. I've been to all but two, and that hands down was my favorite. Got some new tools that I've got my hands on that I will do a little bit of a tool review for you. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming tools that I got to see at really one main one that debuts at SEMA this week, but got a sneak peek at the Advanced Skills Seminar. That's pretty amazing. We've got talks scheduled at MTE. We're going to talk about those. And I'm taking a flight to Jacksonville. If you're a big PDR podcast listener, you can probably figure out what that means. But we're going to talk about that a little bit on the show. Really want to bring it out and make it a great first 44th episode of the show. Do me a favor. Go to, on all social medias, search at Dent Repair Now and give us a follow, right? We're going to have tons of information and content going out there. That's, again, the whole idea is to get back on the content and education bandwagon. And it's all going to be under the Dent Repair Now brand. We've got a ton of videos to bring into our YouTube channel. We will have more educational courses coming up inside the Institute at Dent Repair Now. Now, I'm going to release this probably tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow morning on the Auto Appearance Institute feed. With that being said, it's going to be over this next week that everything else goes live. So dentrepairnow.com/institute is where basically you'll have your login and the course catalog for all things formerly AAI, right? Your education will be at dentrepairnow.com/institute. The podcast feed will, when it's live for Dent Repair Now, come from dentrepairnow.com/podcast. I believe that inside of the back end of the website, I'm able to sort of pull you all over. But just to be sure, keep an eye out on our socials at Dent Repair Now this week, because when we drop that new episode, we will drop snippets everywhere, pushing it out there. There will be a new podcast feed for the new podcast, new rebranded logos and everything. Still available at, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere we can publish them, we will publish them. I think the podcast part should happen automatically. But if it doesn't, and just to be sure, go into your favorite podcast app and search for the All Access podcast from Dent Repair Now later this week. It's coming. I promise it's coming. It's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss it. Let me look at my notes. because we've been working on this for a while. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yep. So if you're a student, don't worry. You're going to have access to everything. The only thing you'll lose is progress. Whatever your progress was, I don't believe that we could bring that over directly, but you'll still have access to everything. And the courses will be totally unlocked. So you won't have to watch any parts to get back to where you were at. You'll be able to just jump right in. Yeah. Again, make sure you hit that follow button on your podcast apps. All right, guys and gals, I really cannot thank you enough for riding on this journey with me and seeing where we've taken the Automotive Appearance Institute and its handful of years that it's been out there. I'm really excited, really excited to see where the Institute at Dent Repair Now goes and what that turns into. Super excited for that. Man, my beard. My beard looks really great tonight. See, this is, open up your own business. It'll be fun. I really, truly am so grateful for all of you. I hope you all come over and follow us on the journey as it continues and we move into Dent Repair Now and we see how that goes. Super excited, really grateful that we're going. And yeah, so those important links. First, dentrepairnow.com. That website needs an update. That was on the list to do this year. Guess what? It's not done. But the Institute is going to be amazing. So dentrepairnow.com. Dentrepairnow.com/institute is where you will end up with your login. That will be live this week. Dentrepairnow.com/podcast is where you're going to find the All Access podcast from Dent Repair Now. Same great show, different bat channel, right? Just a different channel. That's all. Little rebrand. Go follow Dent Repair Now at Dent Repair Now across all socials that we use. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube are our 4 big ones. That is what we were looking for. So it is the last episode. It is the final episode of the Automotive Appearance Institute. I thought I was going to be a little sad. I'm really not. Very excited and happy for the future and to see where we can go. So if you were watching the video, I've got a little clip here at the end for you. If you're doing audio only, you're going to hear me take down the Automotive Appearance sign that is my background. And we're going to have to build out a new background for Dent Repair Now. So let me get this sign down. I'll be right back. And that, folks, there we go. We'll get the Dent Repair Now. That, folks, is the end of the Automotive Appearance Institute and the beginning of moving the Institute to Dent Repair Now. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. I can't wait to see where we go. I will see you on the next episode of the All Access Podcast from Dent Repair Now. See you guys.